Good evening. I'm Melissa Manning with Sunbeam Family Services, and I'm here with Sam Sigmund. She has a master's degree in speech pathology, and she also is in pursuit of becoming a certified financial counselor through the National Association of Certified Credit Counselors. And she's here to talk to us tonight about what to do with our tax money and or stimulus refund. So, Sam?
Hi, Melissa. Thank you so much for inviting me to do this.
Thanks for being here. So Sam, I want to ask you, what are some practical money smart ways we can spend our tax refund and or our stimulus checks?
Okay, that's a great question, Melissa, especially right now. I know a lot of people are waiting on these different pots of money that are coming. Before we kind of get into the practicalities of what to do with the money, I would just like to say, people, please be patient and file as soon as you can, but please just wait a couple of weeks until you get that money, till you get the check or you get the direct deposit in your bank account. Don't be tempted. I know a lot of these tax filing companies will encourage you to get an advance or take out a loan, but the fee that they charge, which is the equivalent of an interest rate, can really be a huge percentage of your money. And so that money is better with you than with them. So just have some patience and wait on the money. I think really, Melissa, I would suggest 4 things that people can do with this amount of money that they're anticipating, either through their tax refund or their stimulus check. And some people are going to qualify for both, which is great. I would suggest thinking about kind of dividing it up. It's not an all or nothing thing. You don't have to put everything on one item. And I want to encourage people to avoid thinking of this as free money and just going out and treating themselves because they've worked hard all year, although that's probably true and they have, and we can get to treating ourselves at the end. But think about dividing the money up in a way that's going to have the biggest impact for your family over the long term. So the first thing I would suggest people do is put out any fires that you have. So what I mean by that is, if you are behind on any of your bills, and I'm talking about the essential things that your family needs to survive. So if you're behind on your utilities, if you're behind on your rent, if you have been trying to make a pack of ramen noodles last week, those are the things that you want to take care of first. Paying your bills, getting current on your rent, food, transportation, things like that. And then you can look at any debts that you might have if you've gotten behind on credit card payments or those horrible payday loans that we talked about, high interest loans earlier. Get current on your debt. That's the first thing you should do with this money. And then after that, what we want to do is think about getting a little cushion or a little bumper between us and life. So things are going to come up. It's not if they come up, it's when they come up. And so if you can set aside a little bit of money so that you'll be ready for when that emergency happens, then you're going to feel much more in charge and in control going forward. Melissa, I think you had a story to share about that.
Yes, I did. Recently, I was talking to a young mom, single mom, has 3 children, and her car battery died. She had to replace her car battery, and it costed $200. And when we were talking, she said, if I had not had the stimulus money set aside, I could not have paid that $200. And if I hadn't, I couldn't not get the car battery because I had to get to work. And so that's just a prime example of, how emergencies come up. Like you said, it's not, if they're going to happen, it's when they're going to happen. They happen to all of us. And so just having that little bit of a cushion was just able to help her get the car battery and get back on the road and be able to get to work.
Right. And so she felt really good that she had kept that money back.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's perfect example and great forethought by that young lady. And so if people can think about maybe taking 10% of this money and just setting it aside for when something unexpected happens. And then that's there, and then it becomes an inconvenience rather than a panic. So that's really good. So get a little cushion, get a bumper, like we have a bumper on our cars, right, to protect us when we back into the mailbox. Not that I've ever done that, obviously. And same thing with money. We want a bumper to help us. Um, After that, so at this point, you should be current on everything. You should have met your family's immediate needs, and you've got a little bit of money set aside for when you have a hiccup. Then think about any future expenses. If you've got any money left over, think about future expenses that you've got coming up. So everybody who has kids at home right now that have been at virtual school, thinking about getting ready for their kids to go back to school in person, do they need school supplies? Do they need new clothes, new shoes? Those are some things that you might think about. And even if it's not right now, you might think about for when they start the new school year in the fall, setting some money aside for that. It could be if you've got a celebration coming up, if one of the kids' birthdays is coming up, or even looking a little further out to Christmas time, and setting some money aside to cover gifts and the extra food that we buy around the holidays. Melissa, you had a really good suggestion actually with the Christmas present buying that I really liked.
Yeah. So, one suggestion that I've heard people mention in the past is each month they go and they purchase a gift card. So if they're budgeted for $40 a month that they're going to put towards Christmas gifts, they go and purchase a $40 Visa gift card. And then when it comes time to do Christmas shopping, they actually take the gift cards and they go and actually buy the gifts. And so I really like that idea. And maybe give gift cards too. Some kids like gift cards and do their own shopping or whatnot. But I think if we have cash on hand, we're more apt to spend that. But if we have it in a gift card or something where we have to actually put forth more effort to spend it, we can save it a little bit easier.
I think that's a great idea. And I was also thinking, if you are the kind of person that might be tempted by having that money sitting there, or even might decide to spend the gift cards on yourself, you might just go out and just buy the gift now. I actually have a friend who's super organized or super nerdy. Maybe that's the same thing. I don't know. But she buys gifts throughout the year and then just stores them so she has them ready to go when the holidays roll around. So you may just do your shopping, your holiday shopping throughout the year rather than waiting until Christmas is on us.
Great idea.
Okay. So just to recap, so we're going to try and have patience, not get an advance, not take out a loan against the money that we're expecting to get. Wait until we get the money. And the first thing we're going to do is put out those fires, get current on everything, meet our immediate needs. Then we're going to get a cushion between us and life. Think about aim for 10% of the money that you get and put that back for if your car battery dies, or I don't know, if one of your kids has a trip to the ER, they fall and hurt fall off the trampoline and knock out a tooth or whatever, just so you've got a little bit of money set aside for things like that. Then make a plan, look at what's coming up in the rest of the year, big celebrations, holidays. Maybe you want to take a trip this summer, and when we can actually go places and do things again. Set some money aside for that. And then if there's any money left over, now's the time that you can give yourself a pat on the back. I know, Melissa, you said your go-to thing is maybe go get a pedicure. That sounds great.
So is it okay to get a pedicure if I
Of
have
course,
all this money? Is it okay for me to go get a pedicure?
sure. I mean, look, money's a tool, right? One of the things that we can do with it is enjoy it, and we should. We work hard, and we should enjoy the fruits of our labor. But the trick is to have the enjoyment after all the obligations have been met, the boring adult things. So once we've done those other three things, then it's fine. And again, what we want to avoid is spending it all on one thing. And I know, especially for the mums out there, it's tempting to justify spending because it's on the kids. And it's fine if you want to spoil your kids a little bit, but think about it the long term. It's better for them to have money for school supplies and shoes and clothes. And if they fall and knock out a tooth, that's going to bring a lot more peace for you as a mum, and then they're going to feel better too. But at this point, after you've done all those things, it's fine if you want to spend some money on yourself or the kids.
Right. Well, this has been great, Sam. Thank you so much for these practical tips. And this is the first in a series that we're going to be providing for our staff and our families. And so stay tuned and we'll have further topics in the future.
Thanks,
Bye.
Melissa.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.